Welcome, welcome, welcome. Strange day, Chicago. Strange day. A lot of you probably stunned, shocked, caught off guard. Many of us have been watching this news break out. Not here to take up a lot of people's time. I just wanted to go over some of the facts. I have no idea who you are. Never seen you for a day in my life. um, yeah, so I kind of figured that the notifications would be doing this here. It is what it is. Let's just get to it. Jussie Smollett is accused of lying again to the CPD, Chicago Police Department. He's indicted on 6 new counts of disorderly conduct. They had a special prosecutor. Chicago was not going to ever let this go. It was too much of an embarrassment for them. Dan Webb is the special prosecutor who was assigned to this case now. So he'll be right back in court February the 24th at the criminal court building on 26th in California. He's got 4 charges of separate false reports that he gave to police in which he contended that he was a victim of a hate crime, knowing that he was not a victim of a hate crime, according to Webb. You know, their statement immediately raised some questions about the county prosecutor's decision to drop the charges last year. It made it clear that those prosecutors had not adequately explained to the special prosecutors why they even did so in the first place. But Webb, he went out his way to stress that he had not reached like conclusions about whether anyone involved in the case had engaged in any wrongdoing. So here we are. I know people supposed to be getting ready for an auto show, and now all the media is thinking about is you got the auto show here, you got the NBA playoffs, All-Star game this weekend, and you got Jussie Smollett coming back to Chicago. So Chicago is going to be the talk of the town for the rest of the month. Well, here's everything that was released today. I'm going to give it to you guys. Dan K. Webb, who's the special prosecutor for Cook County today, announced that the Office of the Special Prosecutors, which is known as the OSP, has now completed all of the investigative steps in regarding Smollett's case, and that they made a decision to further prosecute him based on the recommendation of the OSP. The Cook County grand jury returned a 6-count indictment charging Jussie with making 4 separate false reports to the Chicago Police Department related to his false claims that he was the victim of a hate crime, knowing that he was not the victim of a hate crime, according to Webb. The indictment results from an investigation that began on August 23rd, 2019, when the Cook County Circuit Court Judge Michael Tooman appointed Mr. Webb as the special prosecutor. Judge Tooman directed Mr. Webb to conduct an independent investigation to determine the following: should Juicy be further prosecuted for alleged false reports he made to the Chicago police officers? And two, whether any person or officer or office involved in the case engaged in any wrongdoing, including the Cook County State's Attorney Office, Kim Fox, or individuals in that office, Kim Fox. Now, prudent to the first part, Judge Tooman mandated in connection with whether the further prosecution of Juicy. The grand jury's investigation revealed that Juicy planned and participated in a staged hate crime attack and therefore made numerous false statements to the CPD on multiple occasions, reporting a heinous hate crime that he in fact known had not occurred. Therefore, Mr. Webb had determined that reasonable grounds exist to further prosecute Juicy. In addition, Judge Tooman mandated Mr. Webb had also concluded the further prosecution of Juicy in the interest of justice. Seven factors went into this determination, including the intensive matter of this nature of Mr. Juicy's false police reports and the resources expended by the CPD to investigate these false reports. Other major factors in the OSP's determination that further prosecution of Juicy in the interest of justice is that the CCSAQ or S, I'm sorry about that, CCSAO had been unable to provide the OSP with the documented evidence that shows that in missing and dismissing the Smollett case before the terms presented in the court, which was on March 26, 2019, the CCSAO relied on other dispositions of similar cases prior to Juicy's case that would justify this disposition. The issue was important to the OSP because on that day, Juicy case was resolved in court on March 26, 2019. The CCSAO issued a written press release in which it told the public that Juicy case was being resolved under the same criteria that would be available for any other defendant with similar circumstances. As a result, the OSP sought to obtain all documentary evidence within the CCSAO that would identify prior similar cases. Oh, it ain't unbelievable. This is called Chicago. And when he got the charges dropped and he got to walk, and the city of Chicago looked stupid. The worst thing he could have did was go out there and give a statement. And the one that he did. So the city wanted $130,000 for overpaid time to the officers who was involved in the case in the first place. And the city should not have to be allowed to recover costs that Juicy himself, he gave the $10,000 up as payment in full connection with the dismissal of the charges. After the charges were initially, dismissed against Juicy, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, who was the mayor at the time, seemed blindsided by the decision. He was angry by the decision and called it a whitewash of justice. Really? Now, He said Juicy had exploited the hate crime laws meant to protect minorities by turning the laws inside out, upside down for only one thing, himself. Wow, if that ain't the pot calling the kettle black. Man, ain't that what they do all the time? Exploit any crime meant to protect minorities by turning the law inside, up, and down for only one thing, themselves? The Laquan McDonald verdict enough? Hmm? Did the same thing, except for those people are not even around anymore. Giving a guy what, less than 10 years for brutally harming someone? Yeah, that didn't seem fair. Juicy said he just wants his life back. Yeah, well, no, he can do that himself. Well, I'm glad you got the tweet because they didn't send anything else out. So I just wanted to make sure you guys got this information while I was fresh on the presses. That's it. That's all.